Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another series, another chapter, another video. We had the amazing justification of why we're doing Attack on Titan. I had to move my hand in front of the camera because the phone was gonna fall. Just saved your ass from hearing sounds and watching my roof. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. Listen, chapter episode 1 was amazing. It was phenomenal, but it's a hard anime. It's not for everybody. Attack on Titan is fucking hard. It's hardcore psychological horror gore. We're seeing this from the get-go, right? We got opening scene. We got this time, since I'm a huge fan of Attack on Titans, from the get-go, I'm really paying attention to little things. Opening scene, we got our boy Eren, which is again the first character introduced. Where there's no sound. It's weird. It introduced the Titan in the very first minutes, right? Eren, he refers to the town in which he lives and to the gate, to the safety of the city as a cage, which is again a different perception. A lot of people are happy about the safety, but it's like basically we're cattle, we're just we're in a cage. So again, the difference of perception here is positive versus realistic. Eren is a realistic, and when you don't know why he's a realistic, well, later on we have one of his friends who had the same speech. His father could have helped him, right? As it's a rough start, right? For a rough anime, and what I like is that the first episode isn't some kind of paradise. It's in some kind of lie. It's rough. It's what you get. It's what you ask for. It's what you get, right? Music, we got the anime change of music, refer to town with a rougher anime change of music, more upbeat, yes. We're meeting the Survey Corp, which is basically oh, I don't have my Attack on Titan T-shirt. Fuck, the day I needed it, I didn't wear it. Fucking shit. Well, it's basically like the not necessarily the good guy, but the most popular of the corps, right? There's three corps. There's the police corps, which works in the inner city. There's the garrison corps that is working to repair a wall, and there's the civic corps that's working out of the town. I'm gonna talk about it more in an episode that's mentioning it, but just know this. Right, we're seeing the Survey Corps, the kind of again the hero, and we're hearing another music. The change of music is more upbeat, more encouraging. The colors are brighter. It's a lot better, and the reason for that is because we want to serve them up. We got the trainer is the captain. When I talk about the trainer, you're gonna meet him later on. We're seeing Erwin, which is a simple soldier. Again, the name Erwin doesn't mean much right now. And yes, I do know the show. I do know the manga. I've read through it. I'm a big fan. So Erwin and trainer right now are identified because we know them. I know them as a viewer. Oh fuck! Guess what? Welcome. This is a Survey Corp, baby. This is a Survey Corp. This is the uh somewhat of a uniform, right? It was just there, so chaos. Um, and yeah, we're getting they want to showcase the reality, and music or sound effect are a really good way of doing that, or doing just that, right? We got amazing graphic with the third dimensional gear. Again, we don't know what it is. We know because I watched the show, but still, it's one of the only weapon or only defense system against the Titans, right? The first intro hits like a brick, dude, like a fucking brick. I usually skip the intro, but it does hit like a fucking, oh my god, punch to the face, right? I just had some crystal light. Despair, the color, they show despair. They show hope with the lack of color. Red, which is the color of red, and bright color. The introducing different character. We got Annie, which is super important in the story, right? We start the actual episode with beautiful graphic, beautiful flowers. You're seeing Eren, which is the main character once again, surrounded by a flower, and it's beautiful. The graphics are just good. Oh, I'm gonna. My apologies. Beautiful graphic flower. Eren is having a nightmare, but in his nightmare, we're seeing some events that are supposed to happen, or they're part of the future, right? And it does come in play a lot after, but for now, you just need to know that yo, this is what he's feeling right now. Right, you got introduced as Mikasa, which is again love interest, best friend, one of the main character, one of the people favorite character too. Let's make it clear. When we think Eren, we think Mikasa, right? She's super important in the story, and she saved our ass a couple times, right? He said he feel like a long dream, right? He's waking up crying. So again, we're not sure what that dream means, right? But it does mean something. We're not sure what it means yet, but trust me, that dream, that scene where he's crying, that scene where we're seeing thing, it means something that is a tremendous importance. But for now, due to the fact that it's so real that he's crying, it has to tell us something is wrong here. Something is really wrong, right? They showed that the year is 845. I didn't know how much of an importance it has, but I still wrote it because if I took the time to read it, I'm gonna take the time to talk about it. You got the priest preaching a god. Again, why I wrote preaching a god is because we're not in real life. We're in an anime, and their god might be different from any god that you, I, people believe. And yeah, he's teaching about a god, mentioning the wall. There's a meaning towards it. There's a huge meaning actually towards it. But spoilers. So the wall being an object of worship. When you know why, it makes sense. But even if you don't know, just knowing that something is keeping you safe and then referring to it as a protector, then if it's not something that's real, it's like if you had police force that were robots, they wouldn't be human, and they would be he or she, or they or them. They would be machine. They would be it, right? In the fact that they're it, you wouldn't refer to them as savior, yet they're saving you. The wall is that it's a divine intervention, right? We got the talk about no defiling them, right? You said Eren tell because I don't tell about crying. There's a culture of bullying, right? And the reason I wrote was it's not specifically said, but the resources are low, right? And the resources, because they're low, there's like upper class, and Eren, he has a father. A bit of a spoiler: his father is a doctor, and his father faced a pandemic, so he is really beloved. It was a pandemic. We don't know much about it, right? We don't know how he fixed it. We don't know what happened, right? But his dad is a really important. So there's not a lot of resources, which means there's basically levels. So you got peasants, you got police, you got the higher ups, right? There's a hierarchy, and Eren thinks his father sits a bit on top of everybody else, basically putting him an easy target for bullying because he's the source of envy and of a better life, if you want. Um, because as she said, ask your dad, ask Aaron dad for checkup, right? Which is the first time we hear about Dr. Jaeger, knowing that he's a doctor, right? Which is important to know for the reason I said, right? Now the introduction of Anis, a lot of people they dislike Anis. They think he's a coward. A lot of people dislike they really dislike him because again, he had a chance to do something big and he didn't. And although his actions weren't heroic, he's still a character that is important to the story. And I gotta admit, I do like Anis. Um, do I think he's an amazing character? No. Do I think he has a certain importance? No. To me, Anis, and I know I'm going far with this. I know I'm going far, but Anis feels a bit like Iruka Sensei. Anis is a authoritative figure. He's not a father. He's not a big brother. He means only one thing, and it's a source of reinforcement, of positive reinforcement for Eren. Um, Anes also has some respect for Eren because we later learned that as the doctor saved, we don't know if it's his wife, his kid, but he saved somebody of importance to Anes. I'm hungry as fuck, but I have to, I'm dying, so that's why I'm trying to get a crystal light. I'm trying to get food. I'm obsessed. Anes, the corpo, right? So we're talking about again the corpo are a the building corp, what the garrison corp. So basically, they're out. They're like the police force, if you want, and they'll repair the wall if something was to happen. Right? They're drinking, unafraid of danger, because basically they're here to protect if the Titan are coming. Right? And there's not a lot of crime because basically all the resources are controlled. So if you don't participate or if you don't do your part, you won't get resources. And if you don't get resources, you die. And you could steal, but what are you gonna steal? Right? Everybody getting the same thing. It's like communism, right? In a way. Yeah. It's like communism. Introduced corporal unafraid of danger. It also introduced the tax system. So the tax system is going to be something that's really prominent in the Attack on Titans universe. But basically, the taxes are they're taxes for people who they feel aren't doing anything. Right? So the fact that they're drinking, they're basically saying, "Yo, we're getting your tax money. We're getting a better deal than most of you guys, and we don't do shit." Anna says no big deal for drinking because Aaron's like, yo, how can you drink, right? Aaron, he mentioned Titans and the risk of them. And Aaron mentioning Titan is kind of important here because they haven't attacked in 100 years, right? They haven't done anything bad in 100 years. So the fact that there's still this fear and there's this false sense of security is something people like to forget. It's like that's sort of fashion. It's like in Harry Potter. When people are saying Voldemort, right? People are gritting their teeth, they're afraid. There's still this sense of fear. And Voldemort and Harry Potter is dead. And in the event of Harry Potter, he's been dead for at least 10 years. And his name is still bringing fear. So the Titans are exactly that. It's kind of a taboo to talk about the Titans. Right? Aaron got clout as a doctor's son, right? Reassured to defend them. Anna's reassured that they will defend them. Doc calls the police complacent, right? And the doc is, again, a lot of people in Attack on Titan is keeping their mouth shut because, again, they're afraid of getting in trouble. They're afraid that they're afraid of the government. They're afraid of consequences. The doctor has some clout, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna say what I want. If you don't want me, you don't want that you're only doctor, right? It's like also like in Walking Dead. If I had a show that was very similar to Titans, it would be Walking Dead. You're surrounded by zombies and you're surrounded by Titans. There's an episode in Walking Dead where there's this asshole, but he's a doctor. So how are you dealing with that asshole? Are you keeping in charge? Are you keeping him safe because he's a doctor isn't important, or are you treating him like the asshole he is? Right? Having a clout again. The doctor we learned is a hero is down from a pandemic. Police reveal they saw Titans, right? But the Titans are small. The walls is over 50. I'm not sure. I think it's 50 meter high, and Titans usually reach 6 to 10. They're Titan of every sizes, but most of them are going to be like between 4 and 10, right? So that's 20%. That's 10 to 20% of the maximum height. That's nothing, right? Then we learn Anis again comes in with the truth, and he says that if they breach a wall, we wouldn't be able to fight them. We wouldn't be able to fight because we don't know how, and that's the truth. So spoiler alert, a little spoiler alert. By the time Eren gets older, they found something to defend themselves against the Titan. But for now, they have no way of defending themselves. They don't know the weakness. They don't know what is effective against them. We have the third maneuver gear, which is something I did mention, but it's more for escaping than anything else, honestly. Which is weird. The longer they don't do shit, and when asked about that, and he doesn't admit that they kind of do shit, but the police guy, he has this mentality of as long as we don't do shit, right? It's good. The longer we don't do shit, the better. The longer we have safety. I don't mind if people are hitting us. If it's too, if you need something to hate, might as well be us, right? Which is facts. Aaron once again referred to the town as a cage. Wait, I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again, and I don't know where I am. I fucked up again. I took some notes, but they disappear. And now I have to come back. Now I have to hella back. We're back. We found it. Welcome back. Here we at. And then police makes Aaron he once again referred to town as a cage. The police makes fun of him because he's a kid, right? Honest, when he makes fun of him, honest, he cares about Aaron. He said the you'll be one day you'll be in a survey corp, right? Which is them. They're the Garrison Fort. And then Aaron, he said he wants to go in a survey corp, right? And right away, you can see survey corp. We know they're the corp that goes outside. The shirt I showed you, right? Oh, I'll show you again. Okay, fine, whatever, dude. Whatever you want, dude. Survey corp, hello. And it's funny because I got this. Yeah, you can see in the video for months, for years, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, so and I went to record because I tried to convince her not to speak off, right? The Survey Corp are people that go outside and they're viewed as hero. Again, even us, we're supposed to see them as hero because you remember the music track. The soundtrack was changed to more upbeat, more celebration, more like I'm ready to fight, right? When we play, he tells Mikasa to not speak, right? Bell announced the return of their hero, right? The hero, which is again the Survey Corp, and it's kind of cool because Mikasa a couple seconds ago was saying, "Don't join them." And then we hear the music, right? And then what do we call it? Mikasa not to join them, and you see them, and they're supposed to be these heroes. So it's kind of cool because you got the dichotomy, the duality of the reality versus a option or a image they're pronouncing. They're always pushing this image that they're the savior, but then again, the reality is far different. I'm gonna learn that in this very episode, right? We got a return of the hero for Heron, right? We introduce Erwin again, somebody I spoke of, right? And he sees Heron smile at him, and he turns face in shame, right? And this moment is often not is often overlooked, but it means so much. So I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna say it as it goes along, right? But I want you to remember one thing before I even start talking about it. This is episode number 1. We're starting the story. We started the story about 10 minutes ago, right? We get a lot of them are badly wounded, right? The couple, the info that's back compared to all of them that was left, right? A lot of them are dead. Mother lost her son. She's calling her son, and it's a really touching scene. It's a really, really touching scene where she's asking the son, right? All that's left of the son in question is an arm. They're supposed to say, like, at least we gave a shit about your son and that he's dead. We brought you everything we could is a memory, right? And then the mom, she's like, okay, well, she's sad and she's crying and she's despair. But then she said, didn't my son death at least push the humankind? Are we closer to killing them? But she them meaning the Titans. And then you got the teacher saying, no, we're not closer. And this is him saying there's no hope. Once again, they've been out countless times and it doesn't do shit. So it just goes to show that they're really hard. And again, there's no hope. That's the first episode. It's a rough start, right? Anything at all, nothing at all. It's all pointless. Erwin, he said it's better to feel bad. Right away, Erwin is better. What? Put this right away. Erwin is better. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the captain saying this, which is a teacher, and then later on, not now, but you're gonna see Erwin, which is one of those soldiers, and his mentality is a lot better than this teacher, right? So Erwin is one of my favorite characters. I'm gonna defend Erwin till I die. So if you don't like Erwin, fuck you. If you do like him, congrats. Some feel bad. Others are mad about taxes, and they said, well, basically we're giving tax for them, and they're not winning. So basically we're giving tax to feed the Titans, which is nuts. As a context, right? Aaron, he is a doubter, right? It's funny, he's a kid, right? And Aaron, I do love Aaron. I do love Kid Aaron so much because he's a fighter. You're gonna see that with the episode where he saves Mikasa, which I think is episode 7 or 8. I don't know. I the manga was 7, but Aaron is a fighter. He has a tough. He has a. He's very opinionated, and I just talk about Kagurabachi, and comparing it to MCs, even and a show I'm watching. Eren is possibly the most influential character I'm watching. Maybe Naruto is a bit more, or the equal level. I don't know. Right, because how she saved him. Right, she's super strong. She throw Eren away, and she asked him after what they saw, is he still wanting to change his corp, right? Um, and it's like no, they were meeting the Jaeger. They seem sweet. The mom, she seems super sweet. She really cares about Eren, right? The dad, we learned that right away is important because, right, we know that he's a doctor. He's leaving for exam, right? Mikasa right away, she snitch. Mother, she's afraid for Eren. She's worried for Eren, right? The father is curious as to why, and this is a difference of opinion of the mother. She won't let Eren a chance. The father will tell him a chance, and if he's agreeing, and if it makes sense, he will agree. So that's why he's asking why. Eren says he's curious about the world, right? Tired of the cage. A very similar speech to Erwin, right? Later on, they cannot give up. They have to fight for those who died, and that's a speech that Erwin gives much later on. So the fact that already young Eren had the same mentality that those who fought in combat, they made a sacrifice, and even though they didn't find nothing, they did sacrifice themselves for the cause, right? And it's I want to agree with that. I want to agree with the fact that everybody that went out brought them to a it's like closer. But before Erwin, okay, so that's another spoiler, right? Erwin is gonna become captain, and Erwin is gonna have technique that are gonna improve the quality of survival of the soldier a lot, like a smoke system with different smoke to alert, different formation that are especially made to counter Titans. Eren is um, taking care of the soldier outside. Right now, the Survey Corps they just slammed for slaughter, right? They're going out, they are avoiding Titan, they're trying to understand, trying to study them, but it doesn't work, right? For those who die, someone has to pick up the mental. Mom asked to stop, right? But Doc says, oh yeah, Mom, she asked the doctor to say, hey, stop your son. And the doctor's like, I cannot stop curiosity, right? Then he said, look, when I'm back, I'll show you the basement, and the basement is a super important scene. It's really, really, really important in the story. So it's like when I'm back, I'll show you the basement. For now, it doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it is coming up later on for sure. The mother, she asked Aaron to stop, right? And she basically scold him. She basically give him a shit. And that means a lot. Right now, the fight that they're fighting, not about the fight they're having, it's the fight that they're fighting in that specific timeline. They're fighting, which is really important, right? And then when she sees it doesn't work, she begged Mikasa, she's like, please, you have to protect him because Mikasa, she's much stronger. No matter what, you have to protect each other. And it sucks for Mikasa because Mikasa, spoiler again, Mikasa kind of is adopted. She's not a Jaeger. It's Eren Jaeger, Grisha Jaeger, and his mom. We don't know their name. We don't know her name. Mikasa, she's a Ackerman. She's gets adopted, right? So it's kind of sucked because the mom clearly loved more Eren than Mikasa, but still, right? Then we introduce Armin. Armin is number three. So the main trio of the Attack on Titan is Armin, which is a super smart but weak physically. He's really gifted and study. He's gonna be super important in the story. Mikasa, who is a strong horse. She's a fighter. She's divine. She's a cutie. She's fucking man. She's tough as nail. And then we got Eren, which is the main character. And I've said he has a will that is crazy. This is an episode. I can't say it. I'm gonna spoil it. No, sorry. The way they introduce Armin, he's being bullied. He's being called an heretic, right? So again, on that note, the heretic is not a big deal. If they showed us 8 minutes ago, they show us a priest that was preaching the power of the wall. So the heretic might mean, and it means that Armin doesn't believe in the wall, which is a mentality he shares with Eren, right? You fight back with words, call them too dumb to argue, right? Which leads to which leads them to getting more bullied. Luckily for Armin, Eren shows up. It's funny because Eren showing up, he's like, "Yo, this is Eren. Let's see what we're gonna fuck him up. Then Mikasa shows up, and then they get scared. So again, showing the struggle, not the struggle, but the power level of Mikasa versus Eren. Mikasa is crazy strong, right? Eren, then they run, and then she's worried about Armin, right? He shared Eren's vision. He's like, why did you get beat up? And then he explained, I'll be called a heretic because I didn't believe in the safety of the wall. He shares Eren's vision and curiosity, right? Also, curiosity of the outside world, which he got him bullied. And why it's important he got bullied for that is because Eren could have gotten bullied for that too. Right? Armin is weak, so they took on the weak, right? But Eren has the same vision, so technically he should get the same punishment, quote unquote. Everyone prefer to stay inside, feel safe thanks to 100 years of peace. Going outside is like a bait, right? And again, there's this really touching scene, and it's really important scene, and it's really instructive scene. This scene is so important. The first episode is a truffle of information, of quality. It's desperate, but there's hope. The royals, they discourage, and we're seeing that with Erwin dad. We're seeing that with a lot of people, with Armin, I think father, or I'm not sure. But we're seeing people who are prosecuted or put in chains for talking about outside world. And the royal doesn't want people to know about the outside world. Otherwise, it would be curious. It would be wanting to see it. But there's more reason to that. The royal wants to keep the people dumb, so they be easily manipulated. Trust in the safety of the wall. Trust in the safety we provide you. Treat us good and we'll treat you good. And basically what that does, which is super important story-wise, is the taking over control. If you want to leave the country, make people dumb. Be the smartest guy. By being smarter than most people in your country, you'll have the upper hand, right? We're seeing that with fucking countless. We saw that with Hitler, who was burning he was burning documentation, he was burning books. So that with Napoleon, he was burning books. We're seeing that with Putin right now, who's burning books, right? He's wanting to make people uneducated, and we're burning history, which is crazy to me. It's fucking nuts, bro. Royal won't allow, prefer to tempt Jews. Chief, stay inside, I'm knowledgeable about outside. Everyone says, my body, my choice. I want to go with a survey corp, right? We've got Mikasa, she disagree. She's worried. Eren asked Mikasa, why did you snitch? He didn't say why did you snitch, why did you tell? Armin said there's peace outside the wall. Will never be eternal, right? It's working today, but it's going to be working tomorrow, and that's a fact. Because, yeah, everybody says, oh my fucking god, I can't believe I'm going to be in that discussion. It's such a crazy discussion to have. Everybody says, the discussion, oh my fucking god. I don't want to spoil the game. I don't want to spoil the show. But let's put it like that. People are saying every single day that we're surviving is a day where we know the walls are stronger. The walls protect us. We can trust the walls. But every single day that passes is closer to an attack or a risk of an attack. Right? Not spoiler. They put it like that. Will never be eternal. Imagine living in fear. Right. So I found it interesting because Armin is like, the piece of the wall will never be eternal. Sorry about this. Whew. I caved in. I caved in. I had a croissant. I feel great, bro. Okay, I had 2 croissants. Nobody wants to admit they had 2 croissants, right? Okay, imagine if you're in the city, you're beyond those walls, you're in those walls, you're between those walls, right? And you're stuck you're afraid that they won't hold forever, and you're stuck in this fear, and you're like, holy shit, one day we're fucked. It might not be today, but might not be tomorrow. Could be the day after. We don't know. Like, imagine living there with that fear of you having nowhere to run if it happens, right? Security falls. Of course, fucking shit, dude. Right? Trademark Thunder, right? If you know the show, if you know Attack on Titan, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? People worry, see the giant Titan. First Titan we see, right? So we saw Titan in the prologue. We saw Titan in the, if you will, yeah, prologue is a good, I guess, name for it, right? We see it kick the door. We see horrible destruction, right? We're seeing rubble fly away, hitting people, hitting houses, hitting one house in particular. I think you know what house I'm talking about. If you don't, well, that's a shame. Because fuck it. Got more panic, fear, intense. Music, Titan barging in, right? You get the Titan. And again, the Titans, they're so well made. But what I want to specify with the Titan is they have these goofy face, and it's almost a spit to the face of the people in the universe of Attack on Titan because those motherfuckers look so goofy, but they're gonna eat us and kill us all. So yeah, so it's pretty bad. We see Kegador, we got the intense music, really intense music, right? And we're seeing everybody breaks into panic, really panic. Everyone wants to go back to his house because his mother's still there, and they want to make sure that she's okay, right? And you see Armin, and it's kind of cool because you see in this moment you see a very definitive of those characters. Eren wants to go in to make sure that his mom is safe, which is heroic, which is hard-headed. Mikasa follow Eren because she wants to make sure that Eren is safe. And then Armin, he's paralyzed by fear. So again, logically, you got the hero, you got the protector, and you got the intellectual. The hero wants to save, the protector wants to protect, and the intellectual is staying behind. So really cool, really cool way to showcase their mentality, their mind, right? And I think it's super important that we're analyzing and we're understanding those characters so early on because as long as we know that from them, we can expect them to behave in certain ways or to improve or digress in the way they're acting. Right? Go back home. Armin can follow paralyzed by fear. Armin given to fear. Right? And then the house is destroyed badly. You get his mom stuck in the rubble, and that's why I said, remember last time they talked, him and his mom, they were fighting, and this is important because basically the last thing they were talking about is fighting. Unfortunately for Eren, when he's back and she's still alive, they can say sorry. They can do like, yo, I never meant those things, right? I love you. You're my mom. I love you. Which we do hope for Eren. He's a kid. I mean, imagine losing your mom, and the way you lose her is crazy, right? Bali, Titans are really close. You can literally see them in the background, and they do seem far, but then again, we don't know the distance. And you're a pretty big motherfucker, so it shouldn't take a long time, right? Mom, she begged Eren to take Mikasa and leave because Eren is trying to lift a beam of wood under Mom, right? Where is kind of crazy. Mom, she's stuck, and she begged Eren to take Mikasa and leave. Intense moment where the mom legs are crushed. Now, we're seeing the mom stuck in the rubble. We're seeing her leg crushed up. There's a truth to that. There's actually a secret to that. A lot of people, myself included, believe the mom didn't have her leg crushed. She was stuck, likely, but she could have gotten away. If who's coming? Anes is coming to save them. If Anes, Eren, and Mikasa helped her, they could have gotten out. She pretended like her leg was broken. That way, they would leave her, and the fact that they would leave her would guarantee their safety. So she sacrificed herself for the two kids, which is beautiful. Right, mom will die. Right, Eren wants to carry his mom, even if her legs are broken. Right, his mom, she scolded him for not listening. She's like, "Can you please listen for this once?" Right, and Anis, he comes to the rescue, and again, that's why this is the moment why people dislike Anis. I love Anis. Right, I'm gonna give you a spoiler at the very end of the video. So please stay in if you want. If you don't want, fuck it. It's cool. Mom will die. Eren wants to carry his mom, right? He said, Anis, he said, "I'll fight them." And it's kind of funny because he said, "I'll fight the Titan," even though a couple minutes ago he said, "I cannot fight them. I cannot fight the Titans. They're too strong." So that's when he says, "Oh, I owe a debt to the doctor. If I am loyal, right? He wants to pay the debt, right? He meets the Titans." The amazing face of fear of the way they describe it, the way they animated was just beautiful. He choked and he saved the kid instead, right? We're seeing the Smiling Titan, right, which is super important in the story. The Smiling Titan is our first aberrant. Aberrants are titans that are moving or acting in a smarter fashion or in a fashion that we can analyze. The Titans are pretty dumb, but the aberrants are a bit smarter or a bit crazier, more unpredictable, if you will. Um, Evan will miss his mom. He begs to survive, right? The kids are. The fact that finding Titan here is important for something much later on, right? Evan will miss his mom. Mom, she miss she begged to survive. Please survive. She tried to stay quiet. Obey the Titan won't see her, right? And when he sees his mom get eaten, right? He's shocked for life. That's a huge part of his life. It's a huge part of what is going on here. Like, yeah, guys have no idea how huge this is, right? And then see mom get eaten, right? Beautiful scene. There's a beautiful scene, like his mom just got eaten, but it's still a really beautiful scene. Humanity was never safe. There were always Titan cattle. The end. And yeah, beautiful episode. Now, I already said what I was believing. Now here's the spoiler. Okay, so this is spoiler section. This is a spoiler, so please don't stay. Don't stay if you. Fuck it, I won't do a spoiler section. I want to be watching this with you guys. I want to be expressing my opinion on this, because if I do a spoiler, and I won't talk about it as much because I already talked about it on video. And that was, I hope you had a good time. That was so we got 20 minutes of the show and 25 minutes of me talking. Fuck, I talk a lot. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.